I think a lot of people also probably have this idea that a professional performer doesn't feel nerves anymore, but it's not the case.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a different kind of nervousness along the journey of your career. And the nervousness can come from being in a new venue, a new environment, an audience that maybe hasn't seen you a lot. I probably get more nervous going to a standard comedy club than I do performing to my own people.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do, for sure, because my own people have bought tickets to see me. They've already got an understanding of the kind of comedy I do. They kind of know what they're getting. So it's an easier, not easy, it's just an easier audience to entertain.
Right.
Because they're already halfway there with you.
They're there for you.
They bought a ticket for you.
Is there no extra pressure with that though? Because these are your people. They want to see you.
Look, definitely the pressure's there because at the end of the day, just because you're halfway there doesn't mean you still don't have to impress them. You still have to give them their money. They're still paying customers. It's not charity.
Right.
Like they know you, they love your work, they're there to support you, but it's not charity. They're paying whatever they're paying and they want to be entertained. You still got to treat it as a professional job. It's not just thanks for your money, now let's just talk crap.
Right.
I still put in an effort to perform.
And so the nervousness that you feel with people who aren't necessarily your fans.
Yeah.
So why do you think you feel that more with them? Because surely there's less pressure.
When you're part of a lineup of comics, I feel a lot more nervous because depending what the comic before you has done, what the one after you is going to do as well, and you've only got a limited time. You get I was in Sydney at the Comedy Store over the weekend. I had 7 minutes. That's it. And they were really strict there. 7 minutes.
Light at 6?
Yeah, light at 6. And so when I see the light come, this is something you don't need when you do your own show, or you can, but like after an hour,
Right.
When you do, because the worst thing is when you've got a lot of material, like which 7 minutes am I going to pick that I feel is going to work here, But it's an audience that's seen all kinds of comics, and to be honest, in this day and age, most comics at clubs are filthy.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're filthy. They lend.
I don't know why I said that.
No,
I knew that. I don't know why I pretended like.
I'm not saying they're not funny, but I'm saying they're filthy.
Yeah.
They're filthy funny.
And you're a cleaner guy.
I'm a cleaner comic. So when you got, if I'm on fourth or filth, and they've been laughing their heads off at filth, and then I come along.
It's hard to follow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got the gags. I've got some decent gags, and they will laugh. And I'm like, are they going to laugh after they've been laughing at? The filth has set the benchmark of the night. And I find that challenging.
Do you have any feelings about clean comedy as opposed to what you called filthy comedy?
Yeah.
I mean, is it a principle for you to do the material that you do?
I just think that sometimes there are filth comedy that are actually witty, and that's great. But then there's just filth for the sake of being dirty for really
Shocking
no reason.
or...
Yeah, and there's really no punchline. That's
right.
It's like overly using swear words, like continuously. I feel like if you manage to get the same level of laughter by not being filthy, I reckon you've done a damn good job. At not having to rely on that.
For sure. I think that both are challenging. I do. So I completely agree with you. I do sometimes think that people believe incorrectly that, let's call it dirty material or whatever, is easier than it is. Because at the same time, I can say to a comic, okay, well then you go and talk about that and see how it goes. Because often talking about really disgusting things, most people don't do well with that material.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily do that. I mean, I'm definitely not a clean comic like you, but I do think that it's more challenging than people realize. It's very easy to bomb those bits because you can go too far. Because the goal is to play with people's discomfort. Yeah. And sometimes they won't like that. Sometimes you won't actually find that line, because the whole point is to approach the line and gently play with the line, right? Yeah. Very easy to go over. Very easy to stuff that up.
You are absolutely right. And I think also, Ray, what it is, young comics who go straight into filth have probably taken inspiration from professional comics who do that kind of material but have worked for years
Right.
before they were accepted for that kind of material.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just watch Eddie Murphy's Raw, who is hilarious, but filthy, but
Right.
hilarious, and go, oh, you know, Eddie Murphy can do it, I can do it. No,
Right.
you can't.
No.
You can't. It won't work.
It won't. It's very difficult to pull off.
Exactly.
So anyone who thinks that you can just go on stage and start swearing and that's
Yeah,
easy,
no.
you won't do well.
No.
You won't get laughs doing that.
First, you've got to be liked, I feel.
Right.
Like being humble.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. I think the more you're liked, the more they'll go with you on whatever journey you want to take them on.